But in essence, that impulse were multidimensional. You participated in the impulse, and those that assisted you in driving, and all the other people you saw driving, and all the movies you saw, all the magazines you read, the tests you had to do, all of those impulses together form you as a driver. If within that you have peculiar fears developing, it was because you gave certain attention to particular fears. You impulse them sufficiently to become part of the total design of you as the driver of a car. Now you must understand that these things are understood within our civilization, and that it is so common knowledge that you can study how to do this at your universities.
Ivy League schools are very big on teaching those upper crust kids how to direct the population.
Correct. In your more exclusive private schools, leadership skills are taught as the direction and management of impulse. You are directing through placing your authority into a design that is accepted and which you make sure will be attractive enough for those that you are directing to accept it as what they want to do, and therefore they would see it as their choice. In this whole point, what started to play, what accelerated the whole evolution of the human into what you are now existing as, was obviously the impulsing of pictures and sound. So the radio, the telephone, television, all of those things played a major role. And as you would be coming in as the next generation that is born, whatever is already formed as a primary pulse within your parents will be transferred to you. Structural resonance. That's the parts of how it gets transferred. And what is essentially there is that it is not only the DNA and that transfers. It is the total information as who you exist as that transfer into the child. The child will, through various influences, start to pulse a particular expression. The impulse would be particular. For instance, what the parents don't realize is they would have had, say, a naughty teenage years where they did all kinds of things that they now try and prevent their children from doing. What they don't realize is that their child carries that same memory in them of what the parent did. Now the child starts to resent the parent for wanting to stop them, because within the child exists the impulse of what the parent did, and the parent liked it. And now the parent is giving the opposite answer. And the whole cycle of trust is broken on that single point. And that's why so many children feel that parents are disgusting and hate them, but they never say it. They will, purely because the parents normally have money, say yes and cooperate, just to get money. But they will never be honest in communication with their parents. They will never tell their parents everything, because they don't trust their parents. Because the parents lied to them deliberately by claiming something to be bad that they as parents did as if it was good. And that whole cycle caused a major rift in our society development. Which is more interesting within it as well is that the parent will deliberately, and I mean many of you that will become parents, one of the things you'll say is, I will never let my children be like my parents. You know what? You're not saying that because it's authentic or original. Your parents said exactly the same thing. Exactly. If you dare to communicate, you will find out that your parents exactly went through what you are going through in your life. But you don't communicate, because you don't trust them. Just as they didn't communicate with their parents because they didn't trust them. Because the lies are transferred generation after generation. Everybody claiming what is goodness, hiding the badness. Good and bad is all kind of cross-wired. So, now in our development, a fairly recent development has been the cell phone. Now, understand that all these developments that you are experiencing in the external world as systems of support are also inside you multidimensionally as the systems that support your mind consciousness system. Exactly the same way like we discussed the other day about the cities and so on and so on. With the advent of the cell phone, an interesting point developed. We moved from the primary tool of impulse being television, movies, sound and related things to a new form of transmission. The cell phone. The cell phone became, and if you have a look at the success stories of things like Twitter and related points and how the cell phone is busy evolving into a primary communication tool. You can do your Facebook with it, SMS, you know, there's a lot of communication happening now between children and in a greater society. Far more time is spent now on the cell phone than on television. It's become the ultimate delivery system that sell or impulse the human being, especially the younger generations. It's being impulsed by the cell phone.